Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, let's talk about why Tesla crashed despite having a record production number for Q3. Now for Q3, they produced more than 365,923 cars and delivered 343,830 cars. Now the reason why Tesla crashed is because Tesla delivered 343,000 cars and it produced 365,000 cars. So there are 23,000 cars not delivered because of logistical issues. Because the cost of logistics is too high and Tesla decided not to deliver all the cars in this quarter, Tesla do not want to do so just to make the numbers look good. And because Wall Street estimates a 365k delivery and there's a shortfall of 23,000, the smart money hence punishes Tesla for this. Now, the smart money has no mercy in this kind of environment where interest rates are very high, money is extremely selective, earning multiples of companies will come down, any miss on estimate will be punished harshly. And that is the reason why I am market neutral and I'm not bullish on Tesla for the short term. And this picture explains why. I just don't think that Tesla is worth $1 trillion in this kind of environment where the Fed is reducing their balance sheet, increasing interest rates to slow down money velocity, and money is extremely selective in this environment. I just don't see how Tesla is going to be worth $1 trillion before this environment and $1 trillion after this environment. It's a totally different market. But the macro situation is so shitty. Cost of energy is increasing rapidly, and energy is the backbone of the economy. It's the backbone of civilization. You have a multipolar world, you have inverted yield curve, you have an aggressive Fed, you have rapidly increasing interest rates. And in my previous video, I've talked about being market neutral. Means I'm selling puts and selling calls. Selling put is me guaranteeing to buy shares, and selling calls is me willing to sell shares. And for willing to buy and willing to sell shares, I'll be receiving premiums. So for the last month, I made $10,000 and I kept that cash, waiting to buy the dips. And for this month, I followed the same exact strategy. I'm on net cash, willing to buy shares and willing to sell shares. So what happened is Tesla crashed from 287 to 240 and I'm being assigned cheaper shares. But my cost is profiting and I'll take the money from profiting from call to buy shares at 240. And should Tesla go lower than 240, it'll be even more attractive for me to buy long-term call option. So buying a long-term call option is basically me paying a down payment, trying to get bigger exposure of shares at a longer time frame. So for example, let's just do a basic, simple example. It is not something that I'm going to do, but let's just show you how it's going to be done. So let's say at the current trading price of 240, I were to buy a call option on the strike price 240 and pay a $90 premium. And this long-term call option contract ends at 2025 January. I'll be paying $90 premium on this 240 strike price. So 240 strike plus $90 premium is 330 break even. And of course, if Tesla continues to execute, this is a good trade for me to set up. So the lower Tesla goes, let's say $180 or $200, the higher probability I will buy long-term call option so that I get exposure to more shares. I will convert a percentage of my shares into these long-term call options. Okay, now let's go to a clip that taychikeng interviewed me and my stance on the market right now and why I am market neutral instead of being bullish on Tesla and why I was right about this.
How do you currently augment your whole investing strategy with options? And like what do you do? Do you sell cover calls, cash secured puts, or what do you do in between?
Okay, so recently my shares get called away by a good price.
Right.
So I was anticipating some form of sideways movement. I understand Tesla will still grow very quickly, but macro is like shitty, and I think sentiments will continue to be shitty for a few months, maybe until Q4. Because my shares get called away, I get back cash. So I do cash cover puts.
Right.
And I still have some form of shares left,
Yeah.
So I do part cover call.
Okay.
And I feel that this margin, let's say, we talk about pre-split numbers, let's say about $800, $900, it gives you about $120 premiums. We are talking about more than 15% premiums on the stocks itself. The 15% movement fluctuation, 15% is the spread for at the money. So let's say if you choose a strike price, maybe $30, $40 above and $30, $40 below, and you're getting $50 premium, you're having a wide range of, and this is how I feel about things. Because I feel that like with QT, multiples will come down, and there are certain production delays on the ramping for Austin and Berlin. That's just my view. I think other people have very different view. They are very bullish, even in this environment. To me, I always view that like the financial system have, like what you say, is you use it very carefully, the word manipulated. To me, I view that they always have this incentive to try to give maximum pain point, and then they try to siphon money off retail investors. So this is always how I view about things, and that's why I am slightly bearish, short term, not for the long term of the company.
Yeah. Right.
I'm actually market neutral. What I'm doing is market neutral.
Right.
So I don't think it's bullish, I don't think it's bearish.
Right.
Because I am a long-term Tesla bull, so I don't want to play against Tesla. But I just want to like farm premiums, take the premiums and buy more Tesla shares. And actually generating, if you look at my last video, actually generated 10,000. Right now what I'm doing is, other than selling put, selling call, because I'm market neutral, because I'm net cash to sell put and call. I still have some shares left, net cash. So if Tesla falls to a price that I feel is very attractive, I'll start buying long-term. I'll buy leaps.
Can you review what's your attractive price range for Tesla at this current level, post-split?
I always say it's 180 to 220, but I'm not sure if it's going to go there.
Okay.
But maybe some form of, I think if a second wave of panic were to come, maybe we'll reach there. Okay. But let's say maybe 240 or so, right? I'll start converting some form of my cash. Maybe I'll do like 30-40% leaps and 60% shares. So this is how I think about things. But let's say if like it goes even lower, then that is a very attractive price. Maybe I will push my options leaps to 45-50% and 50% shares. So the lower it goes, the higher my allocation for.
So you would liquidate your position, or will you go on margin?
Because
for that.
Actually now it's quite interesting because I test a lot of strategies. So now, even though I'm selling puts and call, I can sell more puts and more calls, and I'm not on any leverage at all until I have to deal at the expiry. Why? So if you choose the different expiry, I mean, I'm on this sort of like unconscious competence mode. So I still don't really understand, but like because I do different strike price and different dates, right? You can sell more puts and more calls. You choose different strike price, and different strike price will offer you different flexibility.
Okay.
Yeah. Then when
so it's all the Greek stuff,
exactly. Then when it comes to that date itself, right? Then you deal with that thing on its own.
Okay.
So yeah, you lower your risk and you're not on any margin in that sense. Then when you finish that, then you have to deal with the next one, right? Then you are not on any margin at all. So you're not leveraging at all. So I feel maybe what I'm doing may be quite sensible.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't realize because initially my shares was called away accidentally. Like I have a person learning options for me, and then he had some losses. I asked him to cut his loss. He didn't know how to cut his loss. Right. So I was like, okay since my portfolio is big, just sell some call. And then I wanted to do a short-term trade, but as I run up, get called away, but still at a good price. So I had cash, so I can always repair your position. So yeah. So I find it like options is, if you understand, close up the knowledge gap, it really helps. You can hedge your position, you can protect, It is very dangerous to fall in love with narratives. I have seen a lot of Tesla bulls, they have permanent bias on things. They are not able to adapt on the spot, on a different macro environment. And this is very scary, and they are advising people on the wrong things. So in investing, you have to remove this cognitive bias. And let me play a clip and tell you why I am market neutral or net bearish on Tesla. The reason why I started being more market neutral or slightly net bearish is because in a fixed cost business, if you were to scale your production, right? Let's say every additional unit of product you produce, your profit is gonna widen. So what I realized is they have production delay in Q2, and this will significantly affect my valuation model of Tesla. And because cost of raw materials are increasing, it's stabilizing, but it's still nickel and lithium cost much more than before. So I'm generally like concerned about, because your cost of producing a single new product is increasing. But of course they transfer the cost to consumers. Yes, but who would want to pay 80 to 100k Model 3 with a 6% interest? Right. So that is my concern.
The macro as well.
Yeah. So that's why I become more market neutral than super bullish. Yeah. Right. So this is how I feel about things. So it's really about understanding everything to the maximum as much as you can. Then you have. Okay, so for this month, initially the trade was going well. I was profiting everything, but Tesla suddenly crashed at the last few days. But it is okay. Being market neutral means that when Tesla crashed, I'm being assigned cheaper shares. Now I'm able to buy them back cheaper, and these call options, and these selling call options, I will have premiums for free. I'll use these premiums to buy even more cheaper shares at 240. And now I am back to my original share count and even higher. So the main question for you guys is, what should you do? Should you buy? Should you wait? What should you do? I think my answer is quite consistent on this one. Is to focus on building up cash flow. Find ways to build up more cash. In this kind of bear market environment, you have to be patient. You have to be extremely patient. Things will drag out for a while. Fed will not pivot straight away. And because you're on QT and not QE this time round, so you have to be patient. Slow down dollar cost averaging. Do not exhaust too much cash. Keep some form of cash by yourself for some emergency fund. And if your investment horizon for Tesla is long term, then it is good. You are safe to go. Just remember, slow down dollar cost average, build up more cash flow, and have the ability to hold long term. And lastly, if you want to use options, it has to be a sniper play. You have to wait for Tesla to crash until a very attractive price. I would say somewhere around 160, 180. Then you can buy long-term call option. Your probability of making money or break even is higher than you losing money. And this is the playbook I adopt for myself, and I'm just sharing with you guys. Okay, if you guys find this video useful, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.